In the vast cosmic expanse, where countless stars and galaxies stretch out into infinity, on a tiny planet orbiting an average star, a story unfolds that has been told for generations. It's a story as old as time itself, etched into the very fabric of human history, a story of love, jealousy, and ultimately murder that has echoed through the ages. It's the story of Cain and Abel, two brothers whose tale is both tragic and profound. This tale, found in the book of Genesis, is not just a simple narrative, but a profound reflection of the human condition, exploring the depths of our nature. It's a reflection of the human condition, capturing the spectrum of human emotions and experiences, a mirror to our own capacity for both good and evil, light and darkness within us all. Two brothers, born of the first humans, Adam and Eve, who themselves faced trials and tribulations, found themselves on opposing sides of a divine conflict, driven by their own choices and emotions. Cain, the elder, a tiller of the land, and Abel, a shepherd, each representing different paths in life, represent two fundamental ways of life, agriculture and pastoralism, each with its own challenges and rewards. Their story, though ancient, resonates even today, reminding us of the timeless nature of human struggles. It speaks to the very core of our being, urging us to reflect on our own lives and choices, reminding us of the consequences of unchecked emotions, the dangers of letting jealousy and anger fester, and the enduring power of faith which can guide us through even the darkest of times. Cain and Abel, the first humans born on earth, carried the weight of the world on their shoulders. They were a novelty, a new beginning for a species still grappling with its own existence. Cain, the firstborn, was a man of the earth. He toiled in the fields, coaxing life from the ground. His days were spent under the sun, his hands calloused from labor. Abel, the younger, was drawn to a different path. He found solace in the company of animals, tending to his flocks with a shepherd's care. Where Cain was rough and rugged, Abel was gentle and compassionate. Their differences, though seemingly insignificant, would have profound consequences. As time passed, a subtle tension grew between the brothers. It began with a simple act of worship. Both brothers offered sacrifices to God, seeking his favor and blessings. Cain, in line with his nature, presented the fruits of his labor, the best of his harvest. Abel, true to his calling, offered the firstborn of his flock, a lamb without blemish. God, in his infinite wisdom, looked favorably upon Abel's offering. The reasons for this divine preference are not explicitly stated, but the impact was immediate and devastating. Cain, witnessing God's acceptance of Abel's sacrifice, felt a surge of resentment. Jealousy, like a venomous serpent, began to coil within his heart. The seed of resentment, once planted, quickly took root in Cain's heart. He became withdrawn, consumed by his jealousy. The sight of Abel tending his flocks with ease fueled the flames of his anger. He began to see his brother not as kin, but as a rival, an obstacle in his path to God's favor. God, perceiving the darkness growing in Cain's heart, reached out to him. He cautioned Cain against succumbing to his anger, urging him to master his emotions. But Cain, blinded by jealousy, ignored the divine warning. He allowed the serpent of envy to whisper poison into his soul, leading him down a path of destruction. Section 5. A brother's betrayal. Driven by the consuming fire of jealousy, Cain plotted against his brother Abel. The seeds of envy had taken root deep within his heart, growing stronger with each passing day. He lured Abel into a secluded field, far from the watchful eyes of their parents, away from any chance of intervention or rescue. There, under the vast expanse of the sky, Cain turned on his brother with a heart full of malice and betrayal. The very hands that had toiled the land, now stained with murderous intent, rose against Abel. The bond of brotherhood shattered in an instant. The Bible does not specify the method of Abel's murder, but the result is clear and tragic. The first act of violence in human history was committed, and the world was forever stained with the blood of innocents. This act marked the beginning of a long history of human conflict. Cain, in his rage, had extinguished the life of his own brother, severing the bond of kinship in the most brutal way imaginable. The consequences of his actions would echo through the ages, a grim reminder of the destructive power of jealousy and rage. Section 6. The Mark of Cain. The weight of Cain's sin was immediate and unbearable. As the reality of his actions sunk in, he was overcome with guilt and remorse. God, in his infinite justice, confronted Cain about Abel's whereabouts. Cain, in a futile attempt to conceal his crime, feigned ignorance, but God, all-knowing, saw through the deception. Cain was cursed, banished from the land that had nourished him. He was marked, a visible reminder of his sin, condemned to wander the earth. His punishment was not just physical but emotional and spiritual as well. He was forced to carry the burden of his actions, a constant reminder of the brother he had betrayed. Section 7, Echoes of Eden. The story of Cain and Abel is a chilling reminder of the fragility of human nature. It highlights the destructive power of unchecked emotions and the devastating consequences of sin. It serves as a cautionary tale, echoing through the ages, reminding us of the importance of mastering our inner demons. Just as Adam and Eve's disobedience in the Garden of Eden brought sin into the world, Cain's act of violence amplified its destructive power. The echoes of Eden are present throughout the story, a reminder of the paradise lost and the ongoing struggle between good and evil within us all. Section 8. The Power of Faith. Despite its tragic end, the story of Cain and Abel offers a glimmer of hope, a beacon of light in a tale often overshadowed by darkness. It reminds us of the importance of faith and the power of forgiveness, virtues that transcend time and remain relevant in our lives today. Even in the face of unimaginable loss, God offered Cain a measure of mercy, protecting him from further harm and giving him a chance for redemption. This act of divine compassion highlights the boundless nature of God's grace. This story encourages us to examine our own hearts, to confront our own capacity for jealousy and anger, and to seek ways to overcome these destructive emotions. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, faith can be a guiding light, leading us towards forgiveness, healing, and ultimately a deeper understanding of ourselves and the divine. Faith is not just a belief, but a journey towards inner peace and spiritual growth. For more insights into biblical stories and their relevance in our lives, subscribe to Your Faith in God. Join our community and explore the timeless wisdom that these ancient texts offer.